Kelly Ball here to take you through the week that was on HRTV. Karen Johnson followed JP Gusto at Hollywood Park for this week's HRTV Diary.
I'm here with JP's Gusto, and he's getting ready to go to Kentucky to run in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. And I heard from his trainer and his exercise rider that he has a way with the ladies. I'm a little nervous about this whole diary. I'm following in the footsteps of Zoe Cadman, who has a charming accent. Her diaries are gone viral. You know, she's done one on Looking at Lucky, she's done one on Zenyatta, she's done one on a horse that drinks beer. So JP, I need some help here. Help me out. What do you do that's kind of crazy?
Hey, yo, baby. Yo, baby, can I get your number?
Here's JP Gusto. JP likes to play. I don't know, we might be able to get him on David Letterman and he can do some sort of stupid horse trick, so I don't know. Although JP's Gusto really doesn't have to do anything funny. He's a 4-time stakes winner, and one of those wins came in the Grade 1 Del Mar Futurity.
He's just a little steady, you know, he likes it when the females walk around him, you know, he gets pretty excited. He just tries to be a macho man, you know, for being a little guy.
He's not steady, he's just interested. Maybe he hasn't figured it out yet.
Saddled up and ready to go.
13
JP's work is done for today.
No, it's always exciting to go to the Breeders' Cup. You always think you have a chance, always. Keep your options open and your mind open and good things happen. So.
Trainer Charlie Lepresti was on the phone with an update on his 2 Breeders' Cup hopefuls.
Wise Dan, a contender for the Breeders' Cup Sprint. One thing I've noticed about him is how consistent he's been, obviously, winning 3 out of his 4 races, but every race a different rider. What is it about having a different rider on him? Is that just the way the ball is bouncing, or are you looking for something specific?
No, that's just the way the ball bounced. You know, Julian LePeroux rode him at Derby Day, and then he got hurt and had to be laid off for a while. He wanted Julian back on him, and Julian has to ride Warriors Reward, so Bayerano was open, and that's just the way it worked.
Tell us a little bit about what your plans are, because I know both of your horses, it was initially said, were pointed towards the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Tell us where Wise Dan will be going.
Well, Wise Dan will go to the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Obviously, he won that Win If You're In race, so he's going to the Breeders' Cup Sprint. And here comes Ben. He was always slated to go in the mile. I think 6 furlongs is just too short for him. His best races were at 7, and he was coming at the end. So we've always thought about the 1-turn mile, and he broke his maiden at 1-turn mile at Churchill.
What are your shipping plans to take the horses across town, basically, an hour and a half or so from Keeneland to Churchill for Breeders' Cup?
Well, I think the rule is we have to be in there 72 hours, so we'll probably go Wednesday morning, and, you know, and then we'll train them on Thursday and Friday over there in Paddock School'em. But both of them have run well at Churchill coming off of Keeneland, just shipping the day of. But, of course, with the Breeders' Cup rule, we got to be there 3 days before.
Jill Byrne and Caton Bradar's Kentucky report highlighted the horses with home court advantages for this year's Breeders' Cup.
One thing Dale does have, as some of these trainers here, home court advantage. Now, he's already got first dude in the Classic. He could have 2 horses in the Classic, depending on what the owners decide with Patio Prado.
Patty's doing super. I mean, he's trained the same all year, and he's doing really good. This is going to be a Classic that's going to go down in history as one of the best, I think. He's training great. I mean, he keeps getting better and better. I think he showed a turn of foot that he hasn't shown all year when he ran the Pennsylvania Derby last time, and he seems to be just gradually improving.
One trainer that we did catch up with as well, Ronnie Werner, who thought that, you know, the advantage of being here at Churchill and having these horses having been here before is certainly a plus for him and a lot of other trainers here.
Obviously, this is kind of home for her, too, so I just wanted to get her down here a little bit earlier. Horses are creatures of habit. That's how we teach them to do what they do, is doing things over and over and things that they're comfortable with. So I think you're always an advantage at home.
And he also has a home jockey in Robbie Alvarado riding Central City. He told me, yeah, you're at home, you've got a good jockey, you've got a home jockey, and you got a big shot in 2 big races. It doesn't stink.
And then you can never discount out the Asmussen stable. And it was interesting to talk about how the one horse who hasn't raced here, Haynesfield, is a horse that he's very, very high on.
I think that with him beating Blame, in the Jockey Club Gold Cup. I don't think we can sell that short at all. You know, Toby's done such a magnificent job with him, and he definitely earned this opportunity.
He's had a chance, too, to school here at the gate, which is really important with a horse that's had some history of some gait problems prior to his races as he leads up to his biggest race of all.
Riley Tucker, to me, we talked about the sprint. This is a horse who is a live, long shot. He loves it here at Churchill Downs, and he's a horse that, again, with that extra sort of distance of the long stretch here, I think has an advantage.
He did run a really good race here in the spring in the Aristide, so thought he ran very respectable in the Vosburg, and he's doing really well here now.
So a lot happening here at Churchill Downs already, and a lot of horses still are stabled over at Keeneland, just about 70 miles from here. So Kate and I are going to be either burning up 64 back and forth or putting in a lot of miles here on the Churchill Downs backside as we get so much closer to Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championships. Not long now, guys.
Coming up on HRTV Rewind.
Friend or foe? An outstanding effort once again, wins by 5. You go, us girl. You go, girl, indeed.
HRTV Rewind takes you all the way back to 1973 for this day in racing history. On October 22nd, Secretariat was flown to Woodbine Racecourse, where he would compete in his final career race, the Canadian International Championship Stakes.
The crowd is standing and they're cheering because this is his last race. He's in the stretch and the blaze is glory. Secretariat, ladies and gentlemen, he's all yours and he's coming to the wire. He's on top now by about 10 or 12 lengths. Secretariat has it. And it's going to be a race for the second money between State Spruce and Golden Dawn. Secretariat wins it by 6.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad that he made his final race a winning one. Oh, my heart stopped.
I know that you obviously felt that Secretariat was going to run big today, but I want to know this much. Was there a little twinge there that what happens if he doesn't come through?
I am an optimist. I don't think about those things.
Are you sad today, the fact that it's all over, or are you relieved?
Both? Well, I'm really sad. He's been a wonderful horse, and it's been such fun running him. We're all going to miss him terribly.
New York breds were the highlight of Belmont's Saturday card.
And Ray Nix Jet is now moved to third. They're followed by Endless Circle and Driven by Success. Down to the wire, General Maximus. Be Bullish, a final run at him. But it is General Maximus, a one-length winner. Sentimental Lass and Saltamontes, neither giving away. Down to the line, it is Sentimental Lass to prevail. Straight Story had to work early. He's got to work late, because here comes Pocket Cowboys to overtake him in the shadow of the wire. Pocket Cowboys, the winner. Bandbox in front, Bambi Bound running second, and Kriya's Law, late move on the outside, down toward the rail, Luxury Appeal is coming fast late, but here's the wire, and Bandbox got it by a length. Mies Rocks spurred on by Ramon Dominguez on their way to a 4-length lead here. Our Betty Grable has come from well out of it, but she'll be second on the wire to Mies Rocks, who rolls to a 2-length win here. But Friend or Foe kicks away from the Empire Classic field. Friend or Foe, an outstanding effort once again, wins by 5. And you go, us girl. You go, us girl. You go, girl, indeed. Wins by 2.
Quickly going to get through a bullet drill. Now we celebrate New York breds of Belmont Park. Give me the name of one famous New York bred.
First New York bred to win the Derby, Funny Side.
Yeah, he did it his way, didn't he? Quote the Raven, Nevermore, the Raven run at Keeneland. Who wrote that?
Edgar Allan Poe.
Indeed, indeed. What kind of pursuit, as we enjoy the Pursuit of the Cup shows leading up to the Breeders' Cup 2-day event, what kind of pursuit are you in? Are you in hot pursuit? You tighten the screws a week, 2 weeks, maybe 2 days before the Breeders' Cup?
Let them draw, let the post positions, pull an all-nighter. Simple as that.
Tell you what, I can tell in your handicapping, you pulled an all-nighter last night.
Trainer Bob Baffert is in pursuit of the Cup with multiple Breeders' Cup contenders.
I think our horse, we're all in the same boat. Our horses have never run against the competition they're facing. So we're going to find out how good, Lucky is. We're going to find out how good those other horses are. And so I think we're all sort of in the same boat. We really don't know how good we are.
things haven't gone to plan with looking at Lucky. He missed some time post-Haskell. He's come back strong with the win at Hoosier Park. Going through things like this, does it really test a horse? Do you see what you have going through the adversity that he has so far in 2010?
Well, I think the race in Indiana was a very well-needed race. I mean, I'm lucky I got that in. And as it turned out, he came out of it better than he went in. I think he really needed a tightener. And so he's really training, better than I've ever seen him train. And so we just worked him, and he just gets stronger and stronger. And, he was a late foal, and I think he's catching up now with everybody. And he's doing things that, we've never seen before. So, but it's still, he's going to have to be better than he ever has been when he runs the Breeders' Cup.
Obviously, the venue changes. We go from synthetic to dirt at Churchill Downs. What changes for you? Has anything changed for you at all as far as approaching the Breeders' Cup weekend, going from synthetic to a dirt surface at Churchill Downs?
Well, I really think that Hollywood Park is about as close as we get to dirt, so it gives you an idea of what you have. But I don't think there's going to be a problem with that. I don't think there'll be a problem with Zenyatta or Lucky or anybody coming from here. I think the cream always rises to the top in the Breeders' Cup, and that's what it's about. So we're going to find out how good our cream is.
Pleasantly Perfect was part of Richard Mandella's 4-win Breeders' Cup Day and was the subject of this week's Remembering a Champion.
Trainer Richard Mandella. Was it 3.5 or was it 4 he won this afternoon?
Pleasantly Perfect is very aware of his surroundings. He does not. He's very intelligent about it, but if something is different, he frets about it for a little bit until he realizes that everything's okay and he's it's not gonna mess with his day too much. So. He is a little more unique in that way. Obviously he was able to travel to Dubai and win the World Cup and handled a lot of things in his racing career that would challenge a horse that wasn't mentally ready for those kind of things. When he came here, things that sort of seemed to carry over. I think it's a different type of intelligence he has. He definitely wants things to be to his liking. The great ones seem to develop that, and they tend to know how to pose for a picture, and it's just something they seem to adapt to. I guess when you win the Pacific Classic, the Breeders' Cup Classic, and the Dubai World Cup, you know you've accomplished something pretty special, and he carries himself that way.
Fasig-Tipton's Bane Welker was on the phone with a preview of the 2010 Fall Yearling Sale.
Well, we try and project a winner here on HRTV, who's going to win this specific race we're looking at. And I know as a sales company, you kind of go through that book and there are horses that you're really excited about or that people are kind of buzzing about. How many kind of buzz horses do you think there are in the sale, and what are some of the projections? What are you maybe hoping for in a sale topper?
Well, in a sale topper, I mean, there's a pedigree that probably sticks out. It's the beginning of the Irving Cowan dispersal. A hard-spun filly out of Hollywood Wildcat is a filly that if she never steps foot on the racetrack is going to have residual value. So she is a good physical. She certainly ranks as the highest pedigree in the sale, and I think all eyes have to point towards her as being a possible sales topper. But then we also have horses by such good sires as Dynaformer, Medagliadoro, and Smart Strike, that are good individuals as well.
Up next on HRTV Rewind.
Rock and roll heaven, one more lap, rock and roll heaven, 148-1.
He's stood the test of time. Others haven't been so fortunate. But he really is a remarkable horse, and I pinch myself every day.
Rock and Roll Heaven has the upper hand. Rock and Roll Heaven wins.
It's Rock and Roll Heaven. Razzle Dazzle trying to gun him down on the outside. Rock and Roll Heaven. Razzle Dazzle is coming at the line. Rock and Roll Heaven.
Rock and Roll Heaven is extending his lead. He's unstoppable. He's untouchable. He's unbeatable tonight. Rock and Roll Heaven, a coronation of the Breeders' Crown Final. Wins it going away.
Standardbreds took center stage Saturday at the Red Mile.
Break the bank K. Shaq is back on the inside third. Winning Fireworks on the outside fourth. Il Villaggio bracing for the challenge. Break the bank K looking to wear him down on the outside. Il Villaggio is game. Break the bank K getting up. Winning Fireworks up the rail. Il Villaggio break the bank K on the outside. These two down to the line. Break the bank K. Venture still leads it, and here comes Big Bad John, who pops the pocket. Big Bad John looking a slingshot pass, looking for Adventure, trying to fight him off. It's Big Bad John getting up on the outside, looking for Adventure, looking to battle back. Big Bad John almost there. Big Bad John wins it. Dial or No Dial racing in second. One, the West has 3 lengths to make up. Foiled again is coming on the outside. Dial or No Dial, room to rally up the rail for Brennan. Dolly has drifted out into second. Foiled again coming. Better Sweet on the outside. One, the West in between them. Dial or No Dial leads it. A wild finish here. Dial or No Dial holds on to win it. It's Feel Like a Fool, Sears highlining him home. Big mile from Fashion Delight. Sir Ziggy Zetam on the outside. Fashion Delight after Feel Like a Fool. Feel Like a Fool. Fashion Delight is coming. Feel Like a Fool from Fashion Delight. It's Lucky Chucky. Wishing Stone looking to rev up from the pocket. Lucky Chucky is strong though and leads it by 2. Wishing Stone trying to get to him. It's Lucky Chucky with the 16 to go. Wishing Stone 2.5 lengths from him. Lucky Chucky coming down to the line, and Lucky Chucky has won it. Rock and Roll Heaven gets to the front. One more lap is there. Dreamland's Art is in behind horses. Razzle Dazzle trying to hang in. One more lap, getting up on the outside. Rock and Roll Heaven trying to fight him off. Rock and Roll Heaven, one more lap. Rock and Roll Heaven, 148-1.
It's all about the horse. I mean, he's lucky enough to have a great caretaker, Lester Benson. I just try to stay out of their way. Really, he's a remarkable individual. Reflection on the pedigree. Just a reflection on just how tough he is, how much he wants to win.
And Frank Bellino never comes to the racetrack. One of these days, you got to get him out to see this horse.
He's been out to watch him qualify.
But that's it. No real races, though.
No racing. Nope.
Well, what's next for Rock and Roll Heaven? Is this going to be it for his career, or do you have some more dances left on the dance card?
He's got a couple of dances on the dance card. He's got the 2 events at Dover, the Progress and the Matron. We'll monitor to make sure he come out of this race healthy. As you noted, he's been put to the task, I think you said 6 times in 31 days. You know, he's answered the call every time. I don't ever want to do anything detrimental to him. He's just been too great to us. There's a messenger at Yonkers. They'd love to see us race there. So we've got some options, but it's most important that he's on top of his game.
Bruce, you've made your mark with older horses, with raceway horses. This is really your first major foray into Grand Circuit competition. You've done a heck of a job managing him all year, and this has been some kind of ride, hasn't it?
Thanks for the acknowledgement, Sam. It's been beyond belief, really. You know, I knew he was a top horse last year, and I thought at the beginning of this year there were 3 or 4 colts that had outstanding ability, and Rock and Roll Heaven was one of them. He's stood the test of time. Others haven't been so fortunate. But he really is a remarkable horse, and I pinch myself every day.
Trainer Gregory Peck has accomplished his dream of winning the Hambletonian. Now he sets his sights on the Kentucky Derby.
We're reading an article in the Thoroughbred Daily News that said you want to become the first trainer in history to win both the Hambletonian and the Kentucky Derby. But I understand there's a little bit of motivation here that came from Mike Pegram in Real Quiet. Tell us about that.
Well, you know, I must say, really where the motivation came, I've always followed the thoroughbreds. I grew up in Nova Scotia, Canada, and I can remember where I was the day the Secretariat won the Kentucky Derby. And I've always wanted to do it, and the year that I went to the Derby with Vince Baker, who is, they say, is the veterinarian to the star trainers at Santa Anita, he had first met his wife, Carol, and we went to the Kentucky Oaks together, and I told Carol on the bus ride over that I wanted to win the Hambletonian. It was my dream, and she never forgot it. And the day I won the Hambletonian, but the first text message I got was from Vince and Carol, and it was so nice. And now I say to Carol, you know, I've brought it a step further from that drive. I wanted to win the Kentucky Derby as well. And frankly, you know, it'll be a challenge, but it's a natural progression that I can say that I welcome the challenge. I really do, because what I want is to develop champions, so whether they happen to be standardbred or thoroughbred is fine by me.
That's all for HRTV Rewind this week. Here's what's coming up next week.
Well, yeah, he blames me.
We're in Baltimore. He says, come to Pimlico with me. I said, no, that's okay. And I gave him a couple of $100. I said, here, you know, let's go partners. Was back the next day. I was a winner by about $300, $400, and that was it. He put his hook in me at that point in time.
On the first Tuesday of November.
Stand by for a start in the Emirates Melbourne Cup.
There's a quiver of anticipation. And then...
And they're off now.
An almighty rush of hooves and heartbeats. At this moment every year, millions of Australians and millions more around the world are united in a ritual they know simply as the Cup. The Melbourne Cup is not just Australia's greatest race, it's a tradition of powerful stories. Why do so many people dream of the Melbourne Cup? How has this handicap race, which runs against the grain of the international classics, come to be embraced not just in its homeland, but around the world? And how does this festival hold a unique place in our culture, the country's biggest coming together? We'll unwrap the magic, the mystique that shrouds Australia's most fabled trophy.
The lead belongs to He's Flying Home. Western Roses a length off him.
Oh, I like that Russell looked back. What's the 2 here? Okay.
Riding a 3.
Yeah, I like my chances there. I hope the 2 doesn't grind me out. Come on. Ah, come on. Get back in there. Nope, kicked away from him.
He's Flying Home in front. Going strongly. This is the day for him. He's Flying Home.
Hold on for a second, buddy.
Like some of my bills, he's long overdue. To win it by 6 lengths from Western Roses, Bodybuilder, Truco 4th, then Daily Suds, well clear of bold meeting.